It's just crazy enough to work. Odysseus' plan to break through the walls of Troy is ridiculous, but thus far, more traditional methods have failed. Odysseus' plan is to build a huge wooden animal and fill it with the most skilled soldiers in the Greek army. The Trojans will drag the wooden animal into the city themselves, and under cover of night, the soldiers will attack the city from within. Then you can send more soldiers to attack Troy. This two-pronged attack is sure to succeed. Now, the only thing left is to decide which animal to build. A badger. No, too small. A rabbit. No, it's been done. A puppy. No, too cute. What about a horse?
Sensible. And we're on the warpath for this final episode.
Keeping me all night, all night. I wanna go.
Hiya, Borkers, I'm Jalen Fulf, and welcome back to Zeus, Master of Olympus. Last time we were here, we have successfully finished off Tenedos, which was ultimately the hardest colony mission I have ever faced. No resources available from the start, we had to trade everything in, and ultimately we created our own sources just by worshipping gods. Now we're back in Olympus for one final attempt at seeking out our journey, and lo and behold, the war is about to begin. Of course, we got a colony monument to address here. Which could ultimately decide my fate here. I'm gonna go ahead and build a monument over here just to get that out of the way. Ah, but we have some more down the road as well. Think about this for a second, guys. Now that we've done that, we cannot build horses. Interesting. And interestingly enough, this was a plan all along. Well, I didn't expect it to be this kind of plan, but still, I'm worried as well. I'm worried just as well of the notion that, we're not going to be able to do everything in one go. We have to make sure that everybody stays our vassal. And right now, as far as it's going, based on what I've seen from this little description right here, we can't do Troy just yet. So, as far as things go, I've already conquered Kyme, Miletus, Ethiopia, and Lyrnessus already. Everything's been done. So all that's left to do is tackle Ascania, and then wait for the best. But there are still some, I believe there are still some other rivals to worry about here. Troy is going to be the one on the warpath mostly. So I can just enlist all, but keep, I want to actually keep a couple of my soldiers at bay here. So let's, enlist Tenedos as a strong guys. Let's leave the horses, the clashers, the thunderers, the pillars, the tigers, and the lions. Actually, let's just take all except the thunderers, the clashers, the horses, because we have a powerful army. Ascania is a little bit too powerful. Actually, Ascania is OP. I'm just going to enlist everybody. And I'm not going to have any troops to try and combat the whole Troy thing. If Troy decides to make a conquer effort for other locations. Now see, they're taking their practice runs with... Now see, our soldiers are also taking practice runs against the wolves, because remember, our elite housing is built right near wolf territory. I'm confused as well. How in the hell did our army end up all the way out there? Anyway, we wait for Ascania. Oh, but Lyrnessus is also giving us meat, which is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept meat here as well. So that will be our meat savior. But don't accept fish. That can be our cover-up. We're not going to empty the fish just yet. So yeah, that's all that's left, is just wait for Troy to be weakened, and then just go on for a sneak attack. after the Ascania conquer. I've already sent all my soldiers out anyway, so if it happens, it happens. All right, Ascania is ours. Build a commemorative monument here. It works out. So then our troops will come home easily. Now, this is a big challenge because not only am I supposed to keep these intact, but on top of that, I'm aware that Troy is also going to go on the war fight and try to take these guys back, so I have to be prepared for that. My warriors have to return just in time for that as well, so I'll have to be prepared easily. But at what cost was this? Well, each of our troops were lost like 2 soldiers apiece, and it still works out in the end. Now that we're done with the oh god, I'm gonna have to wait for these guys to come back. But what I can do, and this is gonna be a big what I can do, is I can build Zeus, I can build Poseidon, I can build Athena, I can build Hades, but at this time I don't necessarily think I need any of them. Although Athena, because I'm gonna be preparing for war efforts, I'm gonna need her desperately. So I think what I'm gonna do is build Athena down here. Given I'd be able to do it. Oh, actually, I can actually just move some path around. Yeah, let's move some path. Oh god, I didn't want that path. Yeah, let's move some path around. Arbor of Athena. 24 slabs of marble. Figured just as much. Oh well. How many marble do I have actually? I've got... Negative, soldier. Negative. Where was selling all our marble to begin with? Mycenae is no longer trading. Of course they're not trading, because if you think about it, they have cut off from the world because of Agamemnon leaving Mycenae. So what I'm going to end up doing is getting rid of you. We don't need you anymore. Ultimately, what I want to do, of course, is to get another trading section, like down here almost.
If you worship me, my beloved hound will watch over your city.
Stop selling marble here, and we're gonna buy marble from Sparta. We're going to buy marble as well from other locations, if I can actually do it with what I have. So now comes the ultimate test in trading. Let's get as many trading ports as I can, at least what I can get. Tenedos, Kyme, Lyrnessus, Miletos, and Ethiopia. Tenedos doesn't have any imports. We can only trade into them, and the best we can do is trading in wheat. I think that's what we can do is wheat. But of course, we also have our chief export of fish anyway. We also have our other food source, which is fish anyway. So we'll be good with that. So Tenedos is selling fish. So Tenedos we're getting wheat. We're going to import wood from Kyme. We're going to not do anything with Lyrnessus, which means I can easily just rule them out. Miletos, we're going to... Hold on, do we have a possible foundry? We do not. So I am going to have to buy bronze from Miletos. And then Ethiopia, we buy their marble as well. I mean, once I get them back over on this side. So Ethiopia, buy their marble. And now the big plan comes into effect. I desperately want the maintenance guy to go over here, and given I already know what the situation is with path placement and whatnot, I'm going to hold off on any potential things here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block here so the maintenance guy doesn't wander, and block here. Now hopefully my hope is that the maintenance guy over here can actually make the whole trip. If he can't, then we'll do everything in one go. Oh god, more workers already? 50 workers needed. And what is the problem here? What were we doing with this guy? Pythons. I need you back at the... I need this thing back at the palace. Oh? Palace, thank you. Now you go back to palace as well. You can go back to palace as well. You can go back to palace as well. You go back to palace. You go back to palace. You go back to palace. And you go back to palace. You go back to palace as well. There we go. Much better. I was preparing for nothing. I was preparing those guys for nothing. What can I get rid of to potentially save space? What could I potentially get rid of to save space? I mean, lack of bronze means I can't produce armor. Oh! Most noble jailer, our spies have uncovered an interesting tidbit. Priam of Troy has dismissed much of his military, decreasing its overall strength. Holy god! And I was thinking already of just reducing some stuff to get my workers back in force. Then again, workers needed. Where do we distribute them? Given I'm already getting a profit in all of that shit, let's just see what happens if... Yeah, keep everything very high. I'm actually gonna leave everything alone for now. I mean, administration is a big problem given the fact that if I don't give issue taxes, then some of our guys might just leave angrily. And I think everything's still running intact. I don't really need to bother too much. Anyway, now that Troy is done, now that Troy has been lowered, it's time to do a conquering. Endless all, and we are not going to establish these guys. We're not going to do Kaime Miletos Ethiopia. We're going to get everybody. So hopefully this first attempt works, and if not, we're going to be doomed. So send troops, be on our merry way, and I don't have to worry about any workforce problems or whatnot because everything here is just fun and dandy. Of course, our folks with the swords can actually do their practice runs. And yeah, full line, full swing and miss, I guess.
Let me fulfill an outstanding request.
Oh, already! Hermes, thank you so much! You needed... Oh, God. You needed drachma, but then Hermes. Yay, thank you.
I have come
Hermes is such a savior.
You have sacked Troy, and Helen has been returned to her husband in Sparta. Now all the Greek leaders are headed back to their kingdoms, all of which have suffered in their absences. Only your city of Aulis has managed to retain its previous glory.
Now this is something I was looking for. Now this is something really interesting because we already got Kyme, Miletus, and Ethiopia already. Everybody was intact in succession, and then Ascania, the only one we didn't conquer, was just right there waiting for us. And now Troy didn't even need to do anything. They just had their military decline, and then all of a sudden, kabam! Our troops go in, we win the war. That's the Trojan War for you guys.
Not all the leaders who fought alongside you in the Trojan War have fared so well as you. Sparta has collapsed, and Menelaus and Helen have gone to Egypt to start their lives anew there. Odysseus is nowhere to be found, and the suitors at Ithaca are imposing themselves more and more every day. Mycenae too has collapsed under the treachery of Clytemnestra. Yet Aulis, through your sage leadership, stands tall and proud.
And I am pleased that I am done with this after so long. And thus, the events of this particular moment lead into the Odyssey, which I will not be doing this episode. In fact, I've already done that over on my Twitch. There are a couple of highlights on Twitch, highlights like number 2, I believe it is. I believe it's number 2 or number 3, that cover that particular episode of the custom adventure, in particular, the Odyssey. So yeah, that's it for the series of Zeus, Master of Olympus. Yay, we are finally done with this after so long. And I doubt that I will even be back to this ever again, given the limited content. But yes, we're done. We've got this. And this is a big reason why I chose to do the Trojan War on YouTube rather than all the other adventures, is because the other adventures were super easy. I just needed those as practice before I could attack this. Now, with that, I will also like to mention, I'm gonna go back to Poseidon real quick and just show you all that there is one particular episode in which I want to do, but I cannot brave it for the life of me. The Two Worlds Collide episode, I've seen it from another YouTuber's perspective, and that is hard AF. I want to get my sanity in check. I just want to get that out of the way. I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely not going to do it. So yeah, with that said and done, thank you all so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, leave a like, post your comments, hit subscribe and that notification bell, share this video with your friends, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Until next time, everybody.
Let's go.